All right. Well, hello, Team Fireball. Thank you guys so much for watching and getting on. For those of you that stayed up till 9 o'clock to be on this call on the Eastern Coast, Eastern time. I know it can be sometimes tough to get on these calls, but we so appreciate it. You know, it's so important for us to come together every week and really just get our wits about us and refocus and talk about just our struggles, talk about things that we've learned and just things that we want to be able to share with you guys to encourage you and to help you. And you know, it's hard. Like, summer is crazy. You know, summer and holidays are always the hardest times to really stay plugged in to this business and stay focused. And I think part of the reason it's hard is because it's our own business and we're the CEO of our own business, and we don't have a boss telling us you have to show up every day. And so it's really, really easy to slack off, to go a week, even sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes a month without really doing anything with your business. And I am preaching to the choir right now because I struggle with this. It's been a really, really busy summer for me. You know, now that I'm working full time again, it is a task sometimes to gather thoughts to come and share on these calls. And, you know, I was struggling this week, and I have to say, this team that we have is so amazing. You guys inspire me. And, you know, I feel like it's such a great thing when we're struggling to be able to reach out and talk to each other and just be like, hey, you know, this is what's going on. And to be able to get kind of that encouragement and feedback from, you know, our teammates. And it just gave me a whole new fire, because I was really struggling with what to talk about tonight. You know, it gets to my turn to do these calls, and sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what people really need to hear. I don't know what's really going to help them. And so kind of the epiphany that I had just sort of talking it through with some of you on this call tonight is just that maybe I need to be figuring out what I need to hear and start looking at that, because I'm sure if I need to hear it, other people need to hear it. And so what I wanted to talk about tonight really was just how to stay motivated in our business when you don't feel like it, when life gets in the way, when you're tired, when you've got, you know, so many other things going on and you don't want another job. And you know, and I'm going to go through a few things tonight that really just got me fired up again and made me refocus and new perspective of why it's important to show up every week, why it's important to continue to, you know, fulfill our commitment to each other and to what we say we're going to do. You know, that's integrity. And it's also really, you know, important to kind of keep this group together, because I know that how easy it is when one person kind of falls off the wheel. It's easy for another person to fall off the wheel. And then it's like just a whole, you know, this downward sort of cycle. And we don't want that. We want to continue to uplift and encourage each other, because honestly, what we are doing is so powerful. We're helping people with their health, and we're helping people with their finances. And Lord knows everybody needs both these days, you know? And it's really, really easy to get distracted with things going on in the world. Times are crazy, and it's just so easy to take your focus and split it in a million directions. And then we just end up spinning around in this chaos. And so some of the things I'm going to talk about tonight are really how do we get back to that grounding and of truly focusing on what's important and what's going to have a positive impact, you know, on each other, ourselves, and the world. So anyway, a lot of this is me preaching to me tonight, I just want to say, but But anyway, so I'm going to just, first of all, I want to thank Jenny. For those of you that didn't hear, Jenny is amazing. She does our technology every week. She does our Facebook lives. And you guys, if you aren't on live tonight, but you happen to watch our Facebook replays or our YouTube replays, would you please just make a comment? It really would encourage us to know who's actually watching. And if you're finding value in these calls, part of my whole thing is I really want to make sure that I'm not wasting people's time. I want to be able to provide value. And just somebody saying, hey, you know, like, thanks for sharing what you shared on for any of us, because it is really a lot of effort for us to do these calls and prepare for them weekly. And we just sometimes don't know if anybody's listening. We don't know if we're helping people with anything. So just even like a comment of like, hey, really liked what you said. It just helps us know that we're actually making a difference. And that it just, again, the whole point of this call is motivation. That's a huge motivator to hear like we're actually helping, even if it's just one person, you know? So, so just, you know, drop a comment and let us know if you're actually getting things out of these calls, because we want to keep showing up and doing them. But it really does help us to know that. So anyway, all right, I'm going to share my screen with you guys and just kind of go through some stuff I put together tonight. Okay, so I felt like this was a good visual for what we're in right now. Hello, summer. It's so easy to just try to, you know, hey, I want to be on that island right now, drinking those, whatever they are, out of pineapples, right? So how do we stay motivated in our business, even when we don't feel like it? That's kind of the topic. And I'm going to talk about kind of how to keep ourselves motivated, but also how to help motivate our team as well. But before I get really started in that, I did just want to recognize those of you on the team that are doing the do and just, you know, reaching out, sharing the information with people. And so I apologize for last week not being live on the call. It was a little bit of a mishap. So these are the people I just wanted to recognize for getting new customers over the last 2 weeks. So Alice Beretta, Jenny Field, girl, you just knock it out of the ballpark. You're so consistent. You just amaze me with how you continue to bring new customers into LifeVantage and to our business. And your mom, holy cow, and Rachel Edelman, which I hope she watches the replay. You know, I'm so excited she's still sharing this information with people. Of course, our beautiful Sunshine. And hey, I got a new dog on Pet Tandem this last week at work. So I was really happy. I always love to be able to help the animals with our products too. So congratulations, everybody, for getting these new customers. You're awesome. Okay, so I'm going to kind of break down what I've learned and just been researching about best practices of motivation, you know, with ourselves and our team. So kind of going to hit 6 main tips and then we can go from there. So the number one thing, and this may be like repetition, but repetition is the key to mastery. We always need to go back to our why. Why are we doing this business? Or even a better way to, you know, ask yourself, what is the most important thing to you right now, just in your life, you know, and what are the things that mean the most to you, that if money and time were no object, what would you do? And so, of course, you know, the why shouldn't be, oh, we just want to make more money. No, what would you do with that money? There needs to be an emotional attachment to your why. So it's not just about the money. It's about what you would be able to do, the type of life you would have, the things that you'd be able to contribute, whether that be your family, whether that be, you know, charity, whether that be travel, whether that be just being able to have the time to take care of your loved ones, or if you have health issues, not having to worry about how your medical bills are going to get paid, right? So there really does need to be like when you join this business, why did you join it? And I would say that the majority of us that came into this, it wasn't about just making money. So we have to always go back to that why when we need that motivation. And there's a really great mantra, I will until. I thought that was really good. I read that, and because this business can be frustrating at times, and we all get frustrated. I know, like, after 9 years, there have been times where I'm like, I don't have the energy. I just want to quit. Actually, I really have not ever wanted to quit, but a lot of people want to quit. I would just say I don't work it as hard in certain times in my life. I've never really wanted to quit, but there are people that really go really hard in the beginning of building the business, and they don't get the response from people that they want. And they're just like, screw it, I'm quitting. Right. But some of the most successful network marketing leaders out there, when they're training, this one guy that I was listening to, John, what's his name? John Nelson. I think he's like super uber, successful in this business. But one of the things his mentor always said to him is, success is buried right underneath frustration. So if you're really, really frustrated, be glad, because that means success is about to rear its beautiful, bountiful head. So, the main thing, just don't quit, and know that it's totally normal to feel frustrated and to want to quit at times. Everybody has been through that. We've all felt that. But when you go back to your why, that is what's going to keep you going. So really hone in on that. So tip number 1. I love this quote from Eric Worre, because I will tell you guys, we had a discussion this past few days about these calls in particular. And do we want to continue doing them weekly, or do we want to shift people to the Global Aloha call because they're on the same night? And, after a lot of really great discussion, we feel like it is so important to stick with our Team Fireball call weekly, because even if it's just a few of us on, it helps us all. It helps us stay engaged. It helps us get into action. It helps us keep up on what's happening. And I was like thinking, I don't know if I want to do these calls. And then my team encouraged me to keep going. And I love this quote. I found it. It says, Eric Worre, there will always be a good reason to quit, and there will always be a good reason to keep going. Decide what person you're going to be. Hey, I don't want to be a quitter. So I just thought that was very timely when I saw that. All right, so tip number 2, we've got to treat this like a business. And I totally get it. Nobody wants another job, okay? However, the difference here, we're not an employee of someone telling us what to do. We are our own CEO. And therefore, if we're not where we want to be in this business, only we can change that. So as our own CEO, that means we can set our own hours. We can work as little or as much as we want to. And just know, though, that the less that you do, the less that you will reap in rewards. And then when you're not getting the rewards or the results, then you will be less motivated. So we're talking about motivation. Motivation just doesn't jump into your body, okay? It usually takes some kind of a lighting of igniting of activation. Let's say it in LifeVantage terms. There has to be an activation point where you don't feel like doing it, but you're going to do it. And let's say it's working out, going to the gym. You don't want to get up and put on your, at 5 a.m. and go running. But when you do, and you get through that workout, you feel great. And you're like, oh, I'm going to do this again. And so sometimes you have to force yourself to jump into action, get the results, even if it's just a little bit. And that actually will fuel your motivation. And I always have to remind myself, because if you sit on the couch all day and watch TV, or, you know, get sucked into, I mean, hours of mindless, scrolling on social media, there will be no motivation. And so sometimes you just have to jump into action, even if it's just a little bit, to get yourself going. And the motivation actually comes secondary to that. And so part of, jumping into action is just creating this DMO, this daily method of operation that you have for yourself. And even if you just work this business very part-time, I know most of us do, we don't want to set like crazy, unobtainable daily DMOs. We want to do something that's going to be obtainable in our normal life. So whether that be, write 5 things down you want to do every day, post or comment on social media, follow up with a friend or a prospect, check in on an existing customer. I think that is a huge thing that we could all do, is go through our customers, current and past, and just reach out to them. There's so many customers that kind of fall off because their credit card just, they switch cards, and or they need to be reminded about these products. Every time I listen to a call like today with Carrie Dickey on Team Global Aloha talking about the collagen, I literally had realized I hadn't drank my collagen. I ran upstairs and drank it. I mean, I know how good this stuff is, but sometimes when you're not constantly being reminded how good these products are, it's easy to get in the habit of going a day or 2 days without them. And because you forget, you get busy, and then you hear somebody talk about them, and you're like, oh my God, I got to get my collagen, and so we really should be reaching out to our customers and just re-engaging with them somehow. So that could be, and that's an easy DMO because you've already gotten them to purchase in the past. So it's not like you're having to start totally at square one with somebody. So if you start just small, small daily goals of, I'm going to do this, this, and this, it'll just at least get you in the habit of doing a little bit each day, and then you can build on that. And again, the more positive results you get, then the more motivation you're going to have to maybe add on to that DMO. So again, we got to treat it like a business if we want the rewards. If you don't, then that's fine. It's your business. But I think if we're not going to put the time in and the effort to do just even very part-time things, then we just can't complain that it's not paying off. That's the main thing. So we have to really look at that calendar and say, well, how much have I really done in the last month? Because a whole month can go by and you realize, oh my gosh, I probably hadn't spent 10, 20 minutes reaching out and talking about, what we have to people. So just, be honest with yourself and have the right expectations is what I would say, because this is not going to turn into a, $1 million business without effort. So the number 3, accountability. Woo, yeah, get a workout partner that's going to keep you accountable. That's what you guys do for me. I'm telling you, it could be cross line, down line, up line. Find somebody that you can really talk to when you're having your struggles that, are going to hold you accountable and remind you again why it's important to do what we're doing. And I love this saying, apathy kills motivation, right? When we're just apathetic. But if we have someone that we know is depending on us, whether it be, to show up to lead calls, to do meetings for them, to get on 3-way calls, or even like go work out with them, right? It's like, it makes you more, when someone else is depending on you, it's going to make you more accountable and more motivated. And, I think about when I first started and I was sharing this information with people, and I was getting people coming on as distributors. And I remember like the stories of like, people like would sign people up, and then the person that signed them up would quit. And I'm like, gosh, that I don't, that would like, it's hard for me to even imagine, because I feel like a responsibility, if you're going to bring someone into this business, you can't just abandon them, right? You've got to be there. You've got to be their partner in this. And so anyway, that it's just something I feel like is really important, that we need to hold on to our commitments to people that we're bringing on. And then, I know sometimes it can be very draining, and we're going to have those times of up and down where we don't feel like doing things. But if you have an accountability partner, it makes it so much better, because again, you have someone helping you along the way, and you're going to in turn help them when they're down. And then it just, all ships rise, right, when they're working together. So I absolutely love, again, our team, and just being able to openly share our struggles. And I would encourage any of you and all of you, whether you have, we're in the business and maybe haven't done anything in years, or, struggle with how do you restart? How do you talk to people? How do you do this thing, right? Because when you're out of it for a little while, it can be hard to like figure out how to get back in it. But we are here for you, and we have been through the same thing. And that's the beautiful thing, is like we can, rally around you. We can give you our tips, our ideas. We can help you. So just don't be afraid to reach out and ask, is what I'm saying, because we all get it. And, it's a give and take, and we are happy to be able to provide that support. So, all right, number 4, and I will say Christy Simpson is like the superstar of this personal development. Setting a goal to at least do 15 minutes a day of personal development. This is so huge, because I feel like in our day-to-day, we're surrounded by so much crazy chaos and stress and just things that we are almost on autopilot for. It's so easy not to focus, have that quiet time to really be able to invest in yourself, but it's so important. And even just a small amount of time a day, ideally, if you can do it in the morning, get your day started off right. And, these are kind of the 4 main things I would break down as far as personal development. And again, you don't have to do each of these every day, but I would just try to incorporate at least all 4 of these into your week. Is, obviously pouring into your spiritual development, something motivational that's going to uplift you. Also, leadership and business development are really going to be beneficial in building your LifeVantage business. So, there's a lot of great books out there on leadership, like Eric Worre's Go Pro is a huge one. A lot of great podcasts. I've just put Bob Heilig on here. A lot of people on this team have followed him, but there's just so many people that you can go onto YouTube. There, it's free information. You don't have to pay for it. But just find people that you resonate with. There's so many out there that are great leaders and trainers. Just even, me typing in kind of this topic today led me to some really incredible leaders that I've heard of, but I haven't listened to them in a long time. And I'm like, wow, they've got some great trainings that I need to go back and listen to. So maybe, when you find someone, just jot their name down, and just every day when you're driving to work, or you're just cleaning your house, or you're exercising or walking, whatever it is, just try to 15 minutes, try to invest in yourself, because that will 100% motivate you every time. So now we're kind of moving on to how do we motivate our team. So the first 4 really were about how to keep ourselves motivated, but some of the ideas in how to keep our team motivated is offering team incentives and contests. And, I know LifeVantage, when they do incentives and contests, some people, like including myself, some of those goals seem to be really difficult to reach. And so we might even not go for them. But when we're talking about a team incentive or contest, some of the top leaders talk about creating something super simple, super easy that anyone can qualify for. So example would be Tanya Eliza, who's one of the people, you can find her on YouTube. She talks about doing this recruit one contest, and you can set a timeline. It could be, recruit one new customer in a week, or recruit one new customer in a month. And everybody that recruits one new customer gets a prize. And it could be something super simple. It could be, maybe you get a book, maybe you get a little gift card, maybe you get, a training, maybe you get, I don't know, it could be something little, and really the prize usually isn't what people are after. It's the recognition and the feeling of like accomplishment. And so, the whole goal of these really simple and easy contests is to get a whole lot of people doing just a little bit over a long period of time. So it's like, we know that, that's really was it compound, how things compound. I can't remember the book now that I'm thinking of, but the compounding effect, where it's like, if you have one person doing 100% of the work, or if you have 100 people doing 1% of the work, it's like, you're going to massively expand your business if you can just if you're not doing 100% of the work yourself, right? You're just trying to motivate a lot of other people on your team to put in a little bit of effort, and you're going to get paid the same by doing that versus you doing 100% of the work. So, if you can like encourage people or motivate people to do one new customer, I mean, that's pretty doable, and most people are going to go for that. They're not going to be scared of that, versus if you did like a contest of, recruit 50 new people or 20 new distributors or blah, 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 people are like, whatever, I don't have time for that. But so again, these are things that we can brainstorm on for our teams, just, of running these little incentives, because it definitely is a motivator. And then number 6, and I feel like we do a pretty good job of this, doing public recognition, recognizing those people on the team who are doing who are getting the new customers. But I still feel like we could do a lot better at this. And just hearing some of the trainings today on this, I was just like, man, I've missed the boat in just recognizing so many people, I mean, people that get on Facebook and do lives. I mean, I've seen Alice and Jenny do amazing Facebook lives, and even Carol, so getting, and not just commenting on their posts and lives, but actually recognizing them on our WhatsApp groups, our Team Global Aloha Facebook groups, our Fireball Facebook group, showing that recognition to the team of, hey, so-and-so just did an amazing, this is her first curiosity post. This is her first live video. It was awesome. I mean, her stories have been crazy, crazy good. Or so-and-so just got their first customer, first distributor. Like, we really, really need to make this a big deal. Maybe you're going to recognize people for being consistent, or recognize people that are always engaging with helping answering questions in groups. Christy, I will say you're awesome at that. You're always active in all of the WhatsApp chats, and you're always providing people value when they have questions. And that to me is amazing, because that takes a lot of time and a lot of just energy to do those things. And, I feel like people need that recognition, like, hey, we appreciate you just putting in that energy to help answer people's questions. And so also, we really, in the recognition thing, we kind of have to think of it as like, we're recognizing those people who are doing the things that we want to see more of in our team, right? So if we're sitting back going, gosh, I wish more people would get me on three-way calls, or I wish more people would reach out and ask me to like talk to their prospects for them or do meetings for them or this and that. Then we want to recognize the people that are doing it. So even people that are like getting us on a three-way call, like we want to recognize what we want repeated, by other people in the team. So we just need to make a huge deal about that. And so those are the main 6 things that I felt like were really great in terms of motivation. And I'm gonna stop my share, see what time it is. We're already at 9:30. Okay, so I'm just gonna open it up, and I just wanna ask if anybody has any other things that they wanna share just on what motivates you, when you're kind of having those days, like what helps you guys kind of keep doing it. Anybody is welcome to chime in if you'd like.
Hey, Allison.
Hey.
I just want to say that to me, the big thing that helps me is just staying plugged in. Like if I miss a call, I am so discombobulated that entire week. It just totally screws with me. And then I lose track, and then I'm more likely to the next call. You know what I mean? So that's why I have a phone. I have alarms set up for the TGA call and the Team Fireball call. And so I do miss them, because that to me is like, that's the backbone of staying motivated, is staying plugged in.
Absolutely. 100% agree. Thank you. So don't miss any calls, everybody.
Hey, I'm gonna say same thing as Christy. I think staying connected. So I think I'm my worst enemy. So when I get down and negative, and it's like negative Nancy in my brain, it's kind of a downward spiral from there. So I have to like switch it up. I either walk out of the house and do something that I know is going to make me feel better, like exercise or go hike or go to yoga, or if I can't do any of those things, just making a point to hop on our Marco Polo so that I can connect with other humans that may not be in a funk like I am, or other humans that are in a funk like I am. And then I can feel myself helping them, which helps me. So I think helping others always comes back around to help me in some way. So I always like to just connect, reach out, even if it's just a customer or a distributor that's totally fallen off or they haven't been motivated. I'll just connect with them just to say, hi, how are you doing? Or I thought about you today. Or I just really, that connection piece is huge for me. And it just gives me perspective. I think it helps you step back and look at the big picture and, remember not just your why, but everybody else's whys.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you.
I stay motivated. Turn my video back on. Hi. I stay motivated for the team. Like, it's just like what you brought in, like I feel like if I brought somebody in, it's my responsibility to keep it up, and to be there and to support them. And it's also, you just got to think of, we're helping so many people, just trying to keep that motivation. That's what gets me. So for example, I don't know if you guys saw Kat jumped on for about 20 minutes, and she's at freaking Worlds, right? She's freaking at Nerds, and her 26-year-old horse is a world qualifier. Jenny, you could probably know a whole lot more about this than I do, but it seems like a really big deal. And the reason why she says her 26-year-old horse is out there is because it's been on Nerf 2 for 6 months.
Wow.
So,
that's awesome.
So anyway, I told her, I'm like, well, while you're there, this is great advertisement. Get on it. So, yeah, it's about the family and the teamwork. And we've got such a gift. We just have to do it, guys.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. You go night night. Oh, Love you guys. All right. Jenny, did you want to say anything?
Oh, I'll just jump on really quick. But just, I mean, like everything that everybody else has said and that you have said, you know, on the call is really what connects all of us together. And it's the family, it's the community that we have. It's all of that that helps keep all of us motivated together. And coming together on these Monday nights is really what fuels my fire for the whole week ahead. And so I love that we are, you know, that we do things on Monday nights so that it can push and propel me through the week. And I definitely feel like I have to do something every single day, because if I don't, then I get into, well, then I don't do something the next day. And then I don't do something the next day. So for me, it's really, you know, making sure that I hold, you know, myself accountable to do something, at least one thing every single day for my business. And this summer has been so crazy. Like, I think we all feel like that. You know, I've been on vacation here and there. We've been, you know, camping. We've been doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And even those things distract me. Like, we went out of town, went camping and had no cell service. And so those are like 3 days that I didn't do something with my business. And then trying to come back home and like get back into the routine of things, it's hard. But I love these calls. I love that we can connect together. I love that we share it on our Facebook group. So it just gives those little teeny reminders, you know, to our whole team that we're out there and we're thinking about them and we're, you know, connecting with them. So all of it is really, really good, but it is really hard to juggle it all. And so if anybody's feeling like that, like you have felt today, like we all feel like that at times, and it's okay. And it's okay to validate it and say that it, you know, yes, I'm in this crazy spot, but pushing through and talking with, whether it's your upline, your downline, your sideline, or whoever it may be, can help you get through all of that too, and move you to the next and propel you to the next spot, wherever that may be. So I love your call tonight, and I appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate you guys too. Thank you so much. And I hope you all have a wonderful week, and reach out if there's anything that you need. Okay. All right. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, Allison.